today's show.
Klay did what? And in how many minutes we break down Thompson's career high 60 points versus the Pacers.
What was the most impressive part? When was the last time we saw a performance like this? And do the Warriors celebrate a little too much?
And Uncle Splash, Dennis Scott, joins us from Minnesota to set up tonight's Spurs-Wolves game.
It's Tuesday, December 6th. The starter starts now.
Good evening, Sweet World, and welcome to The Starters. Whether you're listening to the podcast, joining us live right now on NBA TV, or a little bit later on YouTube, we're happy to have you. I'm Jay Skeets, and alongside me, as always, that's Tess Mellis.
I may not know a lot of things, but I know we're surefire.
To his right, it's the international man of mystery taking it to the max, Lee Ellis.
Friend.
Lily, and last, certainly not least, over there, it's the bearded one, Trey Kirby.
Hey-yo!
Hey-yo! TK, what do you got?
Guys, I'm here at the internet looking for your best tweets at #TheStarters, and believe it or not, today is World Trick Shot Day. Yeah, it's a real holiday created by the Harlem Globetrotters that allows everybody a chance to show off their finest trick shot skills. Unfortunately, it's been rainy here in Atlanta, so we couldn't go out to the cage, but we did go back to our old stomping grounds in Studio B to show off our go-to trick shots. Lee got things started with his stupid right hand, left back pocket layup over the head. He swished at the first shot. Congratulations. Skeets went over the backboard, reverse style with that super smooth layup.
Barely hit the
Yeah,
rim.
that's nice.
Oh man, that's nice.
That was
That
one
barely
take.
moves. Tess also went over the backboard, but more with the Larry Bird jump shot style here.
that's
You got to
too.
show the better angle first. Come on
And I
now.
went with the rarely
Oh,
seen.
yeah!
That's the doink shot off the head for the layup. Pretty cool stuff. Now, this is where you at home come in. I need you to go to our Twitter page at The Starters because we have a poll up there where you can vote. Who had the best trick shot? Get your votes in now. We'll check the results later. But remember, only one of us bounced the ball in off their head.
Oh, yeah.
Just remember that.
Just, whatever you do, just don't vote for Lee. I can't stand that move.
A vote for anyone else is a vote for not
And
Lee.
why are you wearing a Michael Red jersey?
Why not? Hey, my hips don't lie. What can I say? No, listen, my shot doesn't look that effective just by watching it, but you guys know when we play horse or pig or whatever,
Yeah.
it always
No,
gets
it
one of you
doesn't
guys.
always.
Always.
So
Don't vote
factor
for
that
him.
in when you're voting. Factor that in. Know that I get
I
a
don't
lot of
care
points
if I
out of
win.
it.
Just don't give it to Lee.
What do your
please.
hips have to do with the Michael Red jersey?
Well, he did this little shimmy thing. All right, look, last night, guys, Klay Thompson, he set the internet on fire. He scored a career-high 60 points in the Warriors' 142-106 blowout victory over the Pacers. Thompson shot 21 for 33 from the field. He did all of this in 29 minutes of action. Trey, we got to break this down. You got a few questions for us.
Yeah, you score 60 points in 29 minutes, you're going to get people talking. And I've got a few questions for you guys about Klay's big night. And since we've seen the shots and we've read the per minute, per second, and per dribble stats, guys, tell me, what was the most impressive part of Klay's career night?
It was about him holding the ball for under 90 seconds. It's like he barely had the ball in his hands. You think about it, 60 points, he basically scored a point for every 1.5 seconds he touched the ball. It doesn't logically make sense.
No, it doesn't.
They just moved the ball so well. It was the most in-flow 60-point game you will ever see in NBA history. That's the way I feel about it because they were moving it so much. They had 25 assists at half with 2 turnovers. Again, you watch him here, he's just moving off the ball so well. He's getting out in front of the defense. He took 11 dribbles in this game. 11 dribbles and scored 60 points. It's just so vastly different than Kobe's 60 that he put up at the end of the season.
Last year,
it was
yeah.
just beautifully in the flow. 45 assists for this Warriors team.
But let's not forget, this wasn't just a guy riding a hot hand. He worked the screens perfectly. He timed his cuts. This was a display for anyone out there who wants to be a shooting guard for the way he played last night. He made cuts to the rim. He still scored 9 baskets in the paint. So it wasn't like he just came down. He's got that beautiful stroke. We know he got a lot of open shots, and he didn't just live on the three-point line. He made sure that he made all the defenders, whoever was on him, work all the time, and he got inside. It was just an incredible performance.
Yeah, the most impressive part to me is sort of echoing what you're saying, I think, Lee, is like if last night, let's say my internet goes down, my TV doesn't work, I go to bed after the Raptors lose to the Cavs for the 5th, 6th straight time. I call it a night, and I wake up and I come in this morning, and you guys say, did you see Klay Thompson? He had 60 points last night. And I go, well, the first thing I would think of, if you told me Klay had 60 and I didn't see it, I would be like, how many threes did he hit? I'd be like, 12, 13, 14, 15 threes? Like, he only hit 8. And I know it sounds funny to say only, but for a guy like Klay Thompson and these shooters on the Warriors, that's not a whole lot.
No.
That's not a whole lot. And so that's impressive to me. It's also impressive, like you said, Taz, just the way he got these shots where it was so quick. It all looks so casual. Mm-hmm. And then I think we'd be silly not to double down on the fact, I did say it, and I tried to say it loudly, 29 minutes. 29 minutes he got 60 points. It's crazy. Are you guys upset as basketball fans that Kerr didn't give him a chance in the fourth quarter? Because I know it was a blowout, but would you like to see if he could have gone for 75, Kobe's 81?
You would love to
with his
see
guy?
it. You would love to see it, but in the spirit of the game, Steve Kerr's a bit of an old school guy as well. You don't want to humiliate your opponent when you're already crushing
They already
them.
were
I know,
humiliating
but
them.
there's a certain time
There
comes.
is a line. There is a line.
you-
You stop stealing bases when you're up 12 runs.
Yeah.
You stop. You just go base to base. Stick, go. Stick, go. And that's it. I feel like, there are no rules in today's NBA. We got big men shooting threes,
Yeah.
but, just like, you don't need to rub the salt
Even-
in the wound. I do feel bad for Clay, though. Both his career highs, the one against Sacramento where he scored 37, when I hope everyone was watching that third quarter when
Right.
you were getting text alerts and you were logging in to see what he was doing. And this one, he didn't play the fourth quarter.
Right.
And he feels bad about that. He said, it's unfortunate. 2 times I got my career high. I couldn't play in the fourth quarter.
That's what I love about this. He wants to go for
Yes.
70, 75, 80. You could tell he wants to. He wanted to keep playing.
Yeah.
But I guess they're killing him, and at some point, they said 60's enough.
Yeah,
We're up
That's
big
the
enough.
thing. I think once he got the 60, Steve Kerr said, right, okay, that's
Oh,
enough.
for sure, because he came out even before
Yeah.
the end of the third.
Yeah.
All right, Trey, next question.
Yeah, Kobe had 81, like you guys mentioned. Clay, 37 and a quarter. And I once went 11 for 11 in the first half of an intramural game. Crazy, I know. Quick fill in the blank here. Clay's 60 was the best scoring support performance since...
Kyrie
Blank.
Irving had 57 against the San Antonio Spurs. It was back in 2015, in March in 2015. You might remember it. It was an overtime game.
That was a great game.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was an incredible
In
game.
San An, yeah.
In San Antonio. And what I saw from that game was actually similar to what I saw from Clay last night. He went 20 for 32 from the field, Kyrie, 7 for 7 from downtown,
Right.
10 for 10 from the free throw line.
Pretty similar to Clay's numbers. Yeah.
And of course LeBron knew how hot Kyrie was. He deferred to him that night, and Kyrie had 11 in the overtime after he sent the game to overtime with that incredible three-point shot as well. So for me, he obviously would have taken a lot more dribbles than Clay, but the same sort of way that he was just so hot he couldn't miss. They had to get the ball in his hands, and it worked.
It was so similar to me to Clay's 52, the way he was doing it back then and this one, because he had Bogut back then, setting picks for him, getting open, working his butt off. Zaza Pachulia sticking out his Pachulia, a lot of illegal screens. He was doing that really well last night. It was just so efficient, like it was against the Sacramento Kings just 2 months before. You mentioned, Lee, in January 2015. And the fact was, this was special because the Kings bench was up and giving him kudos. They just couldn't believe it themselves in Golden State.
Yeah, the most similar sort of performance to me that I could think of, it's a while ago now, but remember Kobe before the 81, he went for 62 about a month prior against the Mavericks. And he did it in 3 quarters. And that's where the comparison to Clay comes into play here. He had 60. He was outscoring the Mavs. It sounds insane still. 62 to 61 at the end of the third quarter. He didn't play the fourth, of course. But, sort of what you were talking about with Kyrie's numbers in terms of shooting and where he got his
Hey, Ricka
shots.
Fox.
It was pretty similar, and we have a breakdown here. Kobe only played a little under 33 minutes that game in 2005 versus Dallas. And you see it there. I mean, a lot more free throws, but otherwise, shot attempts in general, pretty close.
Yeah.
Just crazy to think to score 60 points and not even play the fourth quarter with some of these guys. Trey, I think we got time for one more question.
Final one. My Uncle Bob called me very angry last night, complaining about the Warriors celebrating after every one of Klay Thompson's points. I personally think it's awesome, but guys, tell me, are the Warriors celebrations excessive?
No, they're not excessive. They love the game. Unlike Draymond Green's kicks right now, these are natural acts of joy. They love it. With so many serious things going on in the world, who cares that they're jumping up and down? This is their childhood love. And there's so many good celebrations last night. We decided, hey, let's count down the best celebrations from last night. Why not? Steph Curry was the leader. I mean, he was great. I just love how they're cheering on each other. This was him in the bench in the second quarter, having a great time. Look at this Draymond strut. I don't know what this is.
He was trying to raise the roof at the start.
Come on, you old man. That's not raising the roof. Things have changed. That's probably something the kids do. Kevin Durant, yes. Klay Thompson could score with a blindfold
I like
over
that.
his eyes.
I like
That's
that one.
100% true. Back to Steph, who is kicking butt with these celebrations. He waits till Klay's in his interview, then sneakily grabs some ice, and dumps him on Clay's head.
That's a
Real
new
nice.
one, the ice on the head, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love Clay said he was still on fire though.
That's true. Yeah, Clay was on fire. And then Steph, watch him here on the bench in the second quarter, celebrating. You know, it's great to see your teammates jumping up and down for you. You just want to play harder for your teammates when you see this happen.
Okay, that one might be a little excessive. No, he actually runs into the tunnel.
This is my advice. If you want them to stop celebrating, how about you beat them?
Yeah, well.
you shut them up
Classic.
by
They're
beating them, right?
Look, they're just
That's
fans of the
right.
game like all of us. They were just watching an incredible performance last night. We were doing the same in our lounge rooms at home.
That's absolutely true.
This
Lounge
morning,
rooms?
anyway.
All right, we gotta take a break.
I don't have a lounge room.
When we come back, what should the Knicks call this celebration? The lounge room. Back with the starters. Hope you're enjoying this show from your lounge room. Let's get to some fill in the blank. TK, you got some questions for us?
All right, first one. With the Celtics trailing by 1 and just 5 seconds remaining, Al Horford caught an inbounds pass at the three-point line, pump faked, and Lee Ellis a layup right at the rim, just missing. A pretty easy game winner, guys. Fill in the blank. Al Horford's missed layup was? What?
You stole the words right out of my mouth. Lee Ellis, one of the
yeah.
greatest shooters I know, can't hit a free throw to save his life.
A free throw.
I mean a layup.
layup,
sorry.
yeah.
Free throw,
my
get it
bad,
right.
My bad. I'm out.
Yeah, I mean, there's pressure there. But I put it down as costly because it, you never want to say this play cost somebody a game, but it probably did cost the Celtics in the end last night. They're
Yeah,
12
that
and 9.
goes in. There's less
They
than a
win.
second.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
they win.
They're
I put down Rush because he just rushed it. First of all, Patrick Beverley tries to tear him down. He gets through it, and he might have thought he was a little too open.
Yeah, he
just
was.
kind of chucked it off the glass
Yeah.
a little bit too hard. Just rushed a little bit.
The Rockets survived there. That's one where you're
That
just
was a
like,
crazy game.
Wow, that game was insane
Yeah.
down the stretch. There was some great games last night.
was
I mean, we
incredible.
had Clay going 60, and obviously we're leading the show with that, but some of those games were really, really tight down the stretch. All right, next one, Trey.
All right, after the Rockets matched an offer sheet from the Nets that ended a months-long free agency period, Donatas Motiejunas refused to report for his physical with Houston this morning. His agent, BJ Armstrong, weird to say, says that Donuts has no intention of returning to the Rockets. Fill in the blank, y'all. Motiejunas' missed physical means blank.
I'm not really going with words. I'm going with a straight-up emoticon shrug. I don't know if I even drew it that well, but this is a strange
Yeah.
situation.
I don't know how it works out, but I think he picked the right agent. Because BJ Armstrong, if you remember, he was selected by the Raptors in the expansion draft. He demanded a trade. He didn't want to be there. Donatas Motiejunas, and he got the trade. He was traded to the Golden State Warriors for 5 players. So I think Donatas Motiejunas, in a similar scenario, he doesn't want to play there. BJ Armstrong feels the same way. He's picked the right agent.
I just wrote he's not healthy because maybe he's not. We know he failed a physical last year when he was traded to the Detroit Pistons. If you sign that offer sheet from the Brooklyn Nets, I guess they assumed Houston weren't going to match it. So Houston do go out and match it, and then they don't show up for the physical. Maybe they are trying to hide something.
What does Demo gain, though, by not reporting? Right? I mean, this to me is the only question. Like,
He just doesn't want to be a Rocket.
that's as simple
But
as
see,
that.
only a couple of days ago, 3 days ago, he said he would be disappointed if the Rockets didn't match
Right.
Brooklyn's offer. So what happened between then and now? And this is pretty much, I think, a market offer for him. I don't think he's going to get a significantly bigger offer from anyone else.
Right.
That's now one of the options possibly that the Rockets have. They can return him to restricted free agency, so someone else, not Brooklyn, can offer him more money. But
I
who
think he
knows?
was saying the right thing, just simply saying the right thing.
Right.
And he doesn't want to be there because he was traded from there last
Yeah.
year. He failed the physical in
Right.
Detroit. They don't come to an agreement the entire summer. This is December now, so I just feel like he doesn't want to
Why
be
would
there.
you say that as well, like 3
so
days
what-
earlier? I don't know.
Was that a quote verbatim? Because I just saw
He
that
told,
on the
he,
Twitter
told,
sphere.
he told a Rockets reporter that, yes.
He did say on Friday, I would have no issues with returning to the Rockets despite the long contract negotiations.
Well, I think he's got the right agent in
that's
BJ
what's up.
Armstrong.
Yeah, this one,
BJ
again, this one's a
Armstrong.
classic. This one's very, very strange. All right, Trey, final one here.
Final one, ahoy, mateys!
Okay.
Following a three-pointer from Brandon Jennings. Nice pull-up three here from Brandon Jennings. 3 Knicks formed like Voltron to produce the world's first three-point telescope, giving reserve Ron Baker an even better view of the action. Guys, fill in the blank. This celebration should be called the...
I call it the 3 and C.
I'm going with the team telescope. You've already called it the perfect thing, in my opinion, Trey. That's what it is.
I went with the triple ripple, but did I spell ripple wrong? There's a double P on
No,
that.
that's
you
right.
got it.
That's right, yeah.
But what does that
Why-
mean?
what does that
Well,
mean?
it's a triple,
Yeah.
and then there was a ripple effect.
Oh.
Because it went to the bench there. You know what I'm
Makes
saying?
sense. And like you
Okay.
pull out a telescope, like.
Yeah.
But I like the team telescope because Ron Baker looks like he is Columbus. They're sort of leading it, exploring the new world, looking for three-pointers. So, team telescope, I think it's perfect.
I don't have to even defend mine. It's the best. 3 and C.
3 and C.
You know, it's a play on 3 and D. You know, the player out there, 3 and C.
But won't people think it's a C, like the letter C?
No. Look, see, I spelled it.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of 3D,
Uh-huh.
we'll talk to him hopefully in a second. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Stars.
3 and C, 3D in the C block. That's what we call it in the TV.
TV
See?
talk. Tonight on the network, it's fan night. It's the Spurs and the Wolves. Coverage beginning right after the Starters here at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And joining us live from Minnesota, he was asleep, but now he's awake. It's 3D's Dennis Scott. 3D, thanks for stopping by, buddy. He's awake. He's awake. 3D, I know you had a chance to talk to the big cat, Karl Anthony Towns, a little earlier in the day. How'd that go?
It went very well, guys. He talked about how he's been able to mix up his game, be inside and outside, but he also talked about what they had to do tonight to get a big win on fan night.
I think the biggest thing is, again, we execute the game plan. And even when they're getting in the lane and they hit some shots, stay disciplined, don't deviate from the plan. I think that's what been our biggest problem is that when things start to not go our way, we start deviating from the plan and it really hurts us. So as long as we stay disciplined, we stay grounded, we stay with the game plan, I see ourselves having a good chance to win tonight.
Towns twice there, 3D, talking about deviating from the plan. We know the Wolves have struggled in second half, especially third quarters this season. Is that to be expected with a young team like the Wolves are?
No question about it. I had a chance to talk to Coach Thibodeau, and he talked about the process. A young team learning how to play defense for 48 minutes and also learning how to come out of the second half and pick up on what you left off of in the first half. This young team is still trying to figure that out.
Well, switching it up to the Spurs, they have a strange season right now. They're 5-4 at home, but a perfect 11-0 on the road, trying to make it 12-0 in Minnesota tonight. 3D, do you have any idea why the Spurs, for whatever reason, are playing better away from their own barn?
The only thing I can think of, guys, a lot of times you get away from your home crowd, you get away from your family, a lot of times you can focus in more and take your opponent to the kitchen, if you will. But now with the Spurs, we've never seen them not play so well at home and be so focused on the road. So that's why I use the kitchen as an analogy, because when you're home in the kitchen, it gets crowded. But when you're on the road, there's nobody there.
Yesterday, final question here, 3D. We talked about Joel Embiid wanting to go into the three-point contest over All-Star Weekend. This is something you've participated in twice. We're curious, what's your opinion on the big guys, the true big guys going into the three-point contest? What do you think?
Leave it, process. Leave it. Let the big process do it. Come on. Come on out there to Shooter's Paradise and let it fly.
You got no problem with like Embiid, Marc Gasol, Towns, all these guys that are knocking it down?
If you can do it consistently and the way the coaches have let these guys get in the flow of their offense, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, and you know what? We should point out too, 3D, not a small guy by any means. How tall are you? 6'8", 6'9"?
Well, when I have my heels on, I'm 6'8". When the heels off, I'm only 6'7.5".
3D, enjoy the game tonight. Spurs and Wolves fan night. Thanks so much, buddy. We got to take one more break. When we return, we have ourselves a very solid controversy. We'll explain that after the jump. Don't go anywhere.
3D was as tall as Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, he's a big guy, man.
Just before 11 o'clock this morning, 30-year-old Bobby Ray Fields died in a three-car collision about the 1500 block of West Highville Road. Mr. Fields, as you know, was a member of the Charlotte Hornets basketball team.
So many lives were affected because of that one day.
My children lost their father. The Hornets lost an incredible player. The community lost a great community leader and role model. It was a great loss.
That touching story and more as Beyond the Paint returns tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern here on NBA TV. Switching gears, Trey, we got some updates on who's winning the starters poll.
Unfortunately, we do, Skeets. Bad news.
Oh, come on!
Lee Ellis wins with 31% of the vote, meaning we have to see right hand, left back, pump
He puts
it
his hand in his
again.
pocket.
Hey, have you guys ever seen a lefty layup?
How many Bucks fans are
Oh
watching?
my goodness. The people wanted to see this. The people wanted to see that shake, Lee.
They obviously took into account what I said earlier, is that it looks like it's easy, but it's actually difficult, and it always gets one of you guys.
That's what they took into account.
Yeah, yeah. Last night's pick'em results, I took the Raps. They could not beat the Cavs, so you guys picked up a game on me there in the month of December. Tonight, wow, Knicks and Heat is our game. It's on League Pass. We all got the Knicks. The Knicks are hot right now. Lee, where are we going for your very solid play?
We're going out to Golden State for this controversy, and it's controversial because the NBA tagged this play on Instagram and Twitter. Adam Silver must have done it himself as a very solid play. But as we know, it's a little too sexy for a solid play.
It's an incredible
this
play.
Look at
is
this
probably
play.
one of
This
the
is
top 10
top 10
plays that
material.
we're going to see all year round. So, I mean, I don't know what to call it. It's a very sexy, solid play.
Sure.
Don't worry though, guys. We do have a very solid play, and it comes from the Philadelphia 76ers. Look at this ball movement. Here's Saric back to McConnell, back to Saric for the...
Swish ball.
Oh yeah, here it is again. Check it out. So we get two solid plays for the price of one. What a
okay,
day. And I
okay.
win the pig contest. That's what I call a very solid play.
I'm confused because you don't think that Warriors play was a solid play, but you tweeted the NBA telling them to use the thumbs, and then they retweeted you, and you posted a picture of that retweet to Instagram.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Oh man, I can't stand you right
Who do
now.
you think you are?
I'm just
You
saying,
have
I'm
any
just saying,
backbone,
look,
man.
if you're going to put a very solid play there, you've got to put the two thumbs emojis on there. You just have to.
And we also had a wedgie.
Yeah, this actually is a wedge.
Yeah, this is a wedgie. This is like a tip-in drill here. Like it was
Yeah.
like they were going after a wedgie. Number 13 on the year. We're really slowing down. We're getting one every 24 games. It's not looking so hot for 50, guys. Not looking so
come on,
hot.
Pat.
A little
Come
fake
on,
Pat. You're such a
Nash.
naysayer.
We're projected out to get 54.69.
And that's over 50.
Yeah, but that also includes the playoffs where we slow down, baby.
All
Things
right.
slow down in the playoffs.
On today's Twitter show, which we recorded this morning, we talked in great detail about Clay's 60-point night. We got into gum and back hair discussions, and Lee showed us why Draymond's kicks are definitely not natural.
Right now?
Yeah,
All right,
here
sure,
we
why
go.
not?
Yeah, go
Here
for
we go.
it. Go
Great
for
radio.
it. This is great. It'll show you getting to do your.
This is why you have to watch the Twitter show.
You know, like Draymond does, just a natural jump shot with one leg flying above your head.
All right, here we go.
Looks good.
Very solid kick.
Yeah, nearly a very solid falling over on my backside.
All right, thanks for joining us, folks. And remember, like most things, cheese can be very boring or it can be very entertaining.
Brace the night, people. Can't believe you voted for Lee.
You blew it.
You